What's up, dudes and friends? Welcome back to a deity-filled episode of Smite. This isn't
What?
Smite. Fuck.
We are now Smite.
My brain was in too many places. As Bill Pepper team, and we're talking about Smite.
Woo!
I think the F-bomb was like my sixth word there. Jumping right into it, hot off the bat.
Let go.
But obviously, we're going to be talking about the hit/not-so-hit MOBA Smite because Season 7 just patch released just last week, so we have been, actually at the time of release, it'll be a week, right? It came out on Tuesday?
Yep.
So we've had some time to experience it, and we're going to talk about what came out with it. We're going to talk about where the gods are now as compared to the end of the last season, and where we think they're going to be going as the season progresses, because with the metagame of this game, just because it started one way doesn't mean it's going to stay that way, and people play gods differently, and we're going to be taking the more casual route, because there are a lot of people who play this game professionally, and they're like, this is the best way to play this game with these gods and this, and that's not necessarily how we play. We play a lot of the other games other than like the main conquest, so gods will be played a little differently for us.
Yeah, and the casual way is the way that most of the people who play Smite play.
Hey, can I just point out we didn't introduce ourselves?
That's okay.
Doesn't
the top like 2% are
They
playing at a
don't care.
level where being the most efficient with every little thing. That's where those people are. So people like Weekend or Incon who make tier lists and talk about stuff, they are looking at it as a different mindset than we would. So
correct.
And most of the player base would look at it. So
like when you search Smite tier list, you'll be seeing those lists, which honestly might not really apply to you. You'll see like Nemesis is an S rank god, when in reality Nemesis kind of sucks balls. So she's not.
So
that was just a random one. But yes, but first we're not gonna do. Shane, you need to stop immediately. We're not gonna really do too much news this week. Honestly, there isn't much too going on in the general video game world. We got some new assets for the new Animal Crossing game, which look pretty cool. They're just like high res Animal Crossing stuff. Nothing really too special there. So I watched someone did a condensed video of like all the new assets, like for all the different characters, and I watched it at ×2 speed. And this was cool for two reasons. One, it was like a 21-minute video that I was able to buzz through really quickly, and two, it played like Animal Crossing music in the background, and Animal Crossing music at like ×2 speed is awesome. It sounds awesome. I would highly recommend listening to Animal Crossing music at ×2 speed, because it's a good listen. But honestly, there was really nothing like groundbreaking from it. It's just assets it's just nice looking Animal Crossing stuff. Nothing new, and it's just characters. Other than that, the other like big bit of news that's going on in the video game world, the Warcraft 3 Reforged came out, and everybody hates it.
surprise.
I'm not a Warcraft, specifically Warcraft player, so I'm not familiar with the game. I just know that the game world's freaking out. Nobody likes it. It's the hotness to shit on it. It's got like a 0.8 on Metacritic or something stupid like that. It's like really, really, really bad. So I think it's mostly just because people are piling on it that it's so bad. It might not actually be that bad, but like Blizzard's handing out refunds, and anytime that game companies are actually giving refunds, that means that's a big deal. So there's that. Other than that, there's really not too much going on. Do you guys have anything else you noticed that was pretty cool, or anything interesting that you want to mention of note?
No, all my big news was all Animal Crossing stuff, because there's been a lot of not leaks, but like little things shown here and there.
The new Switch looks really cool. I want those Joy-Cons.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons.
I want the dock.
I don't really want the dock, but I want the Joy-Cons.
If I find that in the wild, I might pay.
You what?
If I find that just randomly in the wild, in the Target or something, I might just buy it.
The system?
But I'm not going to go out of my way for it.
I've heard it's such a pain in the ass to transfer all your stuff over from one Switch to another that I don't think it's worth it. Because it's not as easy as like getting a new Xbox where you just transfer the gamer tag. You can't.
It's really not.
You can't do that with the Switch.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool, and I may just may not open it and save it for resale value later.
That might be worth it. You monster.
Take it from a small child who wants it.
Yeah,
I'm that small child.
Shane is that small child. He's also poor like a small child.
Shane, I'll sell it to you on a major upcharge.
Yeah, $700.
I can't spend money currently because I have to save up for my medication.
Cup noodles.
So.
Oh,
He has to save up for 17-cent cup noodles.
It's been a rough month for Shane.
It's been a rough life for Shane.
2020, baby. It's not my year.
2020 is definitely not your year. Neither was 2019 or any of the 20s.
Or 2018 or maybe 1999 was. Who knows? I can't remember that.
Yeah, you were 3. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna jump right into Smite news. We'll just blaze right through that. We're gonna start off. We're gonna go over some patch notes here. So, with this new patch, it was the start of season 7, which means it's the beginning of like Smite's calendar year. The season will run
till probably next February.
Yeah, through the Smite World Championship, basically, is how it basically goes.
Yep.
And there's a season pass and a battle pass and all that. Battle pass is only
600 gems.
Well, no, not money.
No, 800. Oh,
it's like 8 weeks.
The
battle passes are shorter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know, but we got new god skins with it, new voice packs, and they changed up some of the way so the battle pass worked, and added new stuff for the battle pass, obviously because it's a new battle pass. We also got in with the new season some map updates. They updated the Joust map, which was desperately needed.
Yeah,
because Joust map Prime, in hindsight, was a great map. I remember when we got the updated version, which was the one that we just had. It was cool, but that map, you come to realize, sucked balls.
Yeah,
it was not very good. They updated it now. They made it more. They added more like lane action, more camps. It looks cooler too. It's like, I think it's more like vibrant in color in a lot of ways, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's very narrow though. The lanes feel very tight, and the alleyways in the jungle are super skinny, and like a cuckoo all going down the jungle just hits everything.
There's new NPCs known as the Tree Folk for Speed Camp and the Demon King. They updated the art for basically all the NPCs. Added 2 new speed camps, 2 XP camps that they added, and just a bunch of other.
They put more stuff on
specific
the map,
things.
There's more things to do on the map because before it's like you got your mana buff that you can get, and then you can contest over red buff, and then you kind of just sit in lane and try to pick off the other person if you're doing duel or whatever.
They updated the Conquest map to a lesser extent than the Joust map. They just kind of like blocked off some certain areas with like a little bit of extra wallage, and they added some like some buffs in that area as well.
Yeah, there's now a single harpy in the duo lane.
So once again, this is just gonna be like a general overview because it was a huge patch. There's a lot of stuff, so we're just gonna give you like the bigger items that happened throughout the update. They added new items. I'm just gonna go over some of the interest, like just a couple of the bigger new items. We're gonna start with Hand of God. They brought that back into it, which is a consumable. They brought back Hog. Davis, if you want to go into more specifics on some of these, I'll just go. Like I can give you the general update. Like, all right, so Hand of God.
I have not bought Hand of God yet, and I main jungle, and I don't think I ever will buy Hand of God because I think it's useless.
It is 100 gold. Deals
it's so
150 true damage, and only affects monsters, and you can only carry one at a time. So it is a consumable instead of an active or whatever you want to call it that it used to be, right?
Yeah. So it was nice when it was an active because you could use it when you needed to, wait 60 seconds or whatever it was, and use it again. Now, the only time you really need it is in the very first few minutes of the game, and 100 gold, and like when you leave base in the beginning that's crazy money because you need every little bit you can get when you leave base, and you don't you're just trying to get to lane a little bit faster with that, and I think it's useless.
I want to point out this item really only matters in Conquest.
For the most part, yeah. I can't
Yeah.
really foresee you wanting to get in any other scenario. And in Conquest, it's like I usually only find myself with like 50 extra gold, and to come up with an extra 50 gold on top of that, I feel like would be kind of excessive.
Yeah. My jungle build is always pretty much the same, no matter who I'm playing. I get Assassin's Blessing, and then an item, one of the two starter items or first tier items that cost 700, and then I have 100 left, so I get 1 health and 1 mana pot. So I don't have any more room for consumables, and I'm out of money. So getting a Hand of the Gods instead of both those potions, I think is
A one-use consumable for Hand of the God. What do they intend you to use that for?
kill speed camp faster.
So specifically, it's like you just get speed camp real quick. That seems like such a niche item.
And like
really does.
It's you don't need it any other part of the game since the very beginning because you're already clearing camps immediately anyway. Once you hit level 5, you can clear camps super quick.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe if you were jungling a god who can't clear very easily.
Fair. All right. Another new item, Cursed Blade. It's from obviously in the Blade tree. 1250 gold, 75 health, 10% attack speed, 5% movement speed. They made what?
Haven't bought it yet.
They've made changes to a bunch of other items, but I'm only gonna go over some of the new ones. Magical items. We got a new helm, Tyrannical Plate Helm. It branches off from Dynasty Plate Helm. It costs 2,600 gold. It's 70 magical power, 40 physical protections, 100% or 100 health, 20 CCR, and its passive is if there are ally minions around you, they gain 10% health, 20% attack speed. Whenever an ally minion dies around you, you gain 5 power per stack, max 6 stacks for 15 seconds.
That's 100% solo item right there.
Magical solos are in, boys. Put that on Jormungandr or Jingtian or a mage or Sobek. That's some good shit right there. That is immediate win lane.
I feel like that passive is really good too because like if you're getting like pushed up and like they're being really aggressive and your minions are dying, you just gained stacks of power right off of that, and then you can fight right back. So that's an interesting item.
And I feel like that's the problem magical solos have is they usually get dominated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was playing as Giannis magical solo, and I was getting the shit kicked out of me by Osiris the other day, and it was not fun. Shane was talking about this item earlier. Ring of Hecate or Hecate, however you want to pronounce that. It is for magical ADCs. It branches off the Enchanted Ring, 2,600 gold, 80 magical power, 20% attack speed, 12% lifesteal, and its passive is hitting enemy gods with basic attacks, gives you 1 stack of 2% lifesteal, stacks up to 5 times, stacks lasts 5 seconds.
Yeah, I haven't practiced a whole lot of mage ADCs yet, but that'll probably be my third item.
So I imagine
that before demonic.
Kronos, Freya.
Yeah, that's going to be super spicy on Kronos, Freya Soul, Akwang, Olorun.
You can argue Poseidon, but
I love me some basic attack. Poseidon.
Zhonghui, basic attack Zhonghui for sure.
Rip in peace.
Charon's Coin is another new item. It branches off Restored Artifact. Also costs 2,600 gold. I'm seeing a theme with that price. 80 magical power, 20% magical pen, 20% MP5, and its passive is on a god kill or assist, a coin is flipped. If heads, you gain a stack of 7 HP5. If tails, you gain a stack of 2% movement speed. Each effect can stack up to 4 times. At 8 stacks, this item evolves. You also gain 1 gold. And the evolved passive is on a god kill or a coin is flipped, or assist, a coin is flipped. Heads, you gain 150 health over 6 seconds. If tails, you gain 5% movement speed for 6 seconds. You also gain 1 gold.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like put this on some gods that will benefit from high mobility, like Hebo, and it going right.
I think it's a better Obsidian Shard. It does more stuff than Obsidian Shard, and it gives you 20% magical pen instead of 10%.
Doesn't Obsidian Shard do like 100 damage though?
I think it does less than 100.
Maybe it does. I thought it went up.
I think it's like 75.
Oh, it might be. You might be right.
70. So why buy Obsidian Shard when you can get Karen's thing and get other stuff?
Sure. Those are all the new magical items. Moving into physical items. Caduceus Shield branches off Warden's Shield. It's 2,500 gold. It gives you 30 physical power, 35 physical protection, 35 magical protection, 100 health, and its passive is allied gods within 70 units have their healing increased by 10%. If If you have taken or dealt damage in the last 5 seconds, their healing is increased by an additional 15%. Sylvanas?
Well,
What
he
did
can't
you
get
get?
it. He can't get it because
Oh, it's the
he has to
physical.
have,
I'm dumb.
yeah. But this is good if you have like an Afro. Just even if you're like an Apollo and you don't have healing in your kit. Bad example. If you're Osiris and you don't have healing in your kit and you have an Afro or a Hell on your team, it's still a good item to pick up because you're going to be by those guys, and that's a lot. And that's 25% additional healing just by being around them because you're going to be in combat and stuff. So
That's all for the physical items. I'm just gonna make a quick note of something I like a lot in this list. Malice added cooldown, which I think is really, really, really cool.
Yes.
I love crit and I love cooldown. So if you're giving me both those things at once, that's gonna be an item that I'm gonna build even earlier now. In some of my builds.
I may prioritize Malice over Deathbringer, and I was not doing that before.
I know. Deathbringer just it did so much crit that it's like I want that crit, but if you're gonna give me that cooldown on top of that crit, I might have to make that stop. But those are all the new items. As far as like new items, obviously there were a ton of items that got changes in general. If you want to look at the patch notes, we'll link them the Gamepedia actually in the description, so you can click on that and see them in specifics. Do you guys have any? Do you want to talk about anything in particular with the patch notes other than that? Any big stuff? Any items that you're like, this item got to change that I really love?
I think Hecate's Ring is really what magical ADCs needed to be relevant again, because they weren't really before. I mean, you could play them fine, but like they used to be dominant and then they went away for a while. And now I think you're just because you gain attack speed and lifesteal off that item, it's like perfect to kind of bring them back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to try it. I might play Soul a lot more, and if I end up as ADC or something.
Shane, did you have any new items or stuff that you had on your list that you want to talk about?
No, we've covered them. I will just say I'm disappointed that they reduced the damage of the passive for Hydra's Lament. It's gone from an additional 50% basic attack damage to 40%. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a go-to item for me with some of the assassins I play. So
I think it's to directly combat people like Thanatos and Thor who alt and stun you, and then they're just right on top of you. You can just basic attack for a ton of damage, or like Susanoo who pulls you in, like White ability pulls you to him, so you're right on him, and you can just basic attack and then use your abilities.
Yeah, that's what I do with the Wheelix, is I pull people in. And
or a Wheelix. So I like that. I like that change.
The a change that happened for a very early item that I am not a big fan of. They took away the pen from Shoes of Magi, which basically made it so I'm exclusively building Shoes of Focus now as my first item.
Yeah,
with my mages.
If you're buying purple boots as a mage, you're a fool.
They did reduce the price of by 50 gold from 1,600 to 1,550, but they also obviously they removed the pen. They boosted magical power from 55 to 75, which is, I mean, that's kind of significant. But I mean, I'm going to take that cooldown from
mana.
Shoes of Focus.
You get cooldown and mana.
They only increased the gold by 50. So
yeah. Also, I'm seeing on the engine updates here on this that it decreased the total install size on PC, cutting it down by almost 50%.
Dang.
Which is good,
which is why it opens faster now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it also everything loads. It's a lot nicer to load now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like a general overview of like a lot of the big changes. There are tons of items that got changes, like we said. But
too many to go over in a quick manner.
Correct. So we just went over the new stuff that would be really interesting. Like I said, description for all that other bonus information. We are going to jump into our ranking / tier list of the gods. So, Davis, if you want to pull up,
I've got
do you have our new one and our old one too? You have the old image on your phone.
No, there weren't enough changes between our old one and the new one for me to worry about it. So I just have the one that we just looked at.
Okay, so we ranked all the gods, and then we put them in. It's our casual rank, so this might not necessarily line up with what pros think, but this is what we think is the definitive bell pepper team ranking of Smite Gods.
And
And we're going to put it right
For-
there. So it'll be in
Yep.
the middle of the screen so you guys can see what we're talking about.
disclaimer: we're right and you're wrong.
That's true.
Also, disclaimer: this will change. Smite gets updates.
That's true.
Yes.
So this is currently as it stands 1 week post update.
We also know, just so you know, that just because a god is ranked poorly doesn't mean that they can't do well.
Very true.
You could go 0-10 as Pele, but you could also go 17-1 as Guzenbo. So
Or
Well,
Loki, as you can see,
Yeah.
Loki and Kuzenbo both
fuck
C tier. Bottom
I
tier.
would say Kuzenbo is a bad example for that, but Loki's a better one.
And these rankings reflect the items and how these gods react to these items basically in this current update. So
Mhm.
it's like they can be good gods. Like Loki, I mean, like Loki's gonna blow you up in a lot of ways. But
Loki's
I mean,
a bitch.
just because
if you're playing arena and there's a Loki, he's gonna probably one shot you later in the.
but that's
but he's not helpful in conquest or joust or siege.
In any game mode besides Arena.
basically. But arena is a microcosm of the actual game. It's not really good.
Yeah, it's just everybody fights each other. So this is also not just conquest. This is not just joust. This is just casual as a whole.
Correct.
If
We don't stick to a game mode. Why should you?
Sure.
sure,
And as you can
But-
see at the top, we didn't rank Bastet or Odin because they got new updates, which is actually something that we should also talk about a little bit. Now that
I figured we'd talk about that now.
all right, we'll talk about it now. With they got kit changes. I think probably Bastet's more dramatically than Odin's.
Odin's just is like an ability change, and then his ult's a little different.
All right, so Bastet. Her one's tracking scent, right? Her ability.
One was the leap.
Her
One's like count.
okay, so her ability tracking scent, got reworked.
That's passive.
It replaced. Oh, that's her passive.
Yeah.
Oh, it replaced her old one, which is called Open Wound. So when Bastet hits an enemy, she marks the target for a brief time. Marked targets leave behind a trail of blood that she can follow, and she gains movement speed while trailing the scent. And you get 3 seconds and 20% movement speed. So that's pretty significant movement speed. Actually,
I want to point out while you mentioned that I played Bastet. I never once noticed that the thing, the blood.
I don't think that's
maybe you
good
never
for
hit an enemy. Razor Whip decreased the mana cost by 20 across the board for every single level, and the ability changed from a sweep to an instant cone, and updated the visual effects to accurately show how everything better, and it updated the weapon trail visual effects so it doesn't linger after the ability. Ensnaring Claw, the ability got reworked. It replaced Declaw. So Bastet sends a cat forward at her enemies. So instead of sending cats forward in her ult, now she sends it with this ability. She sends a cat forward at her enemies. If the cat finds an enemy, it ensnares them, it damages them, and it briefly roots them. The cat persists for 4 seconds or until it's defeated, continuing to attack nearby enemies. The cat's attack will apply a 2-second slow to the enemy. If Guardians of Bast is active, she will command her Guardians to also charge forward, and Guardians of Bast is her ultimate. The root damage is 60, 95, 130, 165, 200, plus 65% of your physical power. And then the cats do a third of that. Actually, no, it goes 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, plus 30% of your in-hand power. And then Guardians of Bast, which is her alt, it replaced Cat Call. So Bastet calls her loyal guardian cats to her side. So they're basically just like immobile cat statue things that are next to her.
Think Morrigan clones in her one.
And these guardians follow Bastet's order, assisting her in any ability she casts, dealing percent damage. And they do 20, 25, 30, 35, 40%, 12 seconds. So yeah, she got a more significant change out of anyone, or out of her and Odin. Basically completely changed 2 of her abilities, completely, basically.
And her passive. So people have been wanting Bastet kit changes for a while, or just
For
changes.
the second time.
Yeah,
right?
for the second. Yeah. I liked her how she used to be. I haven't played her yet, but I know that she does stupid amounts of damage, so I might give her a shot here. But I've been playing a lot of ranked conquest recently, and she's just instant banned every game, so I haven't seen her a whole lot yet.
And then, as far as Odin is concerned, he only had 2 ability reworks. Gungnir's Might, which is the sword charge. The ability got reworked. Odin begins empowering his weapon with runic magic, becoming immune to knockbacks. Every 0.7 seconds, it charges runes, and Odin pulses out damage around him, slowing enemies for 2 seconds. When Odin releases it, it travels forward, damaging enemies and stopping on the first god hit. The first rune causes allies around Odin to gain attack speed for 3 seconds, allowing his weapon to home onto enemy gods. And then the last rune stuns. So pulse damage is 25, 45, 65, 85, 102, 20% of your physical power. I don't know what just fell. And then his Ring of Spears changed a little bit, so this is probably the more interesting of the things here. So as his alt would be just the cage, basically. Now you can destroy the cage with 5 basic attacks, kind of like the Kumba passive, where you'd have to basic attack him 5 times to wake him up or to kill him. So every small section of the ring, there's probably like, I don't know, 10 of them. It doesn't say, but you just hit it 5 times, you can break out. I've been caught in a lot of Odin rings. You really don't have time to basic attack 5 them without being murdered. So I don't know. Maybe it's like if you've got a buddy on the outside that's trying to break you out and you're trying to break yourself out, you could really quickly do it. But by yourself, you're going to get Odin'd.
Or like if the whole team gets trapped, like 5 people just need to hit it once real quick.
Yeah, just throw a cuckoo tornado in it, and everybody's getting hit by it. So
yeah, so
I've gotten out of it once, but most of the time I can't kill it. I can't break it by the time I die. So
yeah, jumping out is still best.
Yeah,
best option if you can do that.
That or the thing that lets you walk through the walls.
And with that, those 2 gods, they got the biggest rework, so we left them unranked as it stands. We're going to see how we really like with Bestet in particular. We were talking about it a little bit before this. We really don't think people have fully grasped how to play her yet, because she doesn't feel like she's being played right. She doesn't really either. She isn't better, or people still haven't like gotten a feel for her yet, because it doesn't feel like she's really anything special yet.
Yeah,
and Odin's still Odin.
Yeah, every time we've played against Bestet, but she doesn't do. But that just might be because of Shane. somebody playing who doesn't really know what they're doing, and they just don't.
Like me when we were doing that. What was it? Assault.
Still think you did better than me.
Very well,
Shane,
true.
I got 2 kills that I didn't even realize I got, and then I died like 10 times.
That's okay.
But you still saved my butt once.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think we should go from the bottom to the top. So from our lowest ranks to our top ranks. Agreed?
Started
So
from the
let's start
bottom,
with
now
C.
we're here.
Starting with C. We got Turtle Boy and Snake Boy. Right, Loki's a snake?
I mean, kind of, I suppose, in lore, I think.
All right, whatever.
I think he's very like, I don't know,
He's
slippery like snake. I don't know how to say it.
he's a trickster. Let's go with that.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 worst gods in the game, right? For sure.
Yeah. Bowser, 100% bad.
We had a little bit of debate on which gods to have in this bottom. As you can see right above it, we got Arachne in B. Up until earlier, Arachne was in C, but we bumped her up a little bit right before we started talking. We started doing this. But obviously, you just I'd rather have Arachne over Loki.
Yeah.
According to, as far as Davis's thoughts.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, Loki will one-shot you late game, but Arachne will be more annoying. But I mean, she's one single target. She can blow somebody up, but as soon as somebody gets away from her or you collapse on her, she dies or has to ult out. And then so she just does that over and over again. I would rather have a Susano that does actual stuff to everybody over a single damage than gotta run away Arachne.
Yeah, so
and Bakasura is kind of in the same ballpark as that.
Yeah, we don't have much to say about the C tiers, or honestly, not too much to say about the B tiers either. I haven't seen Baka played in forever.
Yeah.
No.
Chalk's Strox poo-poo, Guan's poo-poo, Hades is risky, Horus needs help, Nemesis is not great, and Nike sucks. B tier.
B plus tier, I think I have the most contention with as far as I'm concerned, because two of some of my favorite gods are in this tier, and that is Afro and Naja. I understand why Afro sits here. If you were playing Afro, if Afro is by herself, which I don't know why Afro would be by herself, but if you're just playing Afro, there's not much you can do. But if you were playing Afro with another god that pairs well with Afro, like, I don't know, there's tons of them. A Sylvanas, maybe, you are invincible. There are fun things you can do with Afro. I do enjoy Afro, but I do get the placement, I guess.
Afro's okay in, like, if you're, like, yesterday we were playing Siege, all four of us, so it was like, there was teamwork, and I played Sylvanas and he played Afro, and we just couldn't die. But it's not Afro's not viable, usually.
That's fair. Naja, also, I think I like Naja more than like Afro. I also get it. It's like
Naja's an alt bot.
yes. His one can do some good damage too at its like higher levels because it pings way more and it bounces off things a lot more. His lane clear isn't very good. His basic combo is nice once you get to its third hit, but its first two kind of suck because its third one is kind of like a cone where you can hit multiple things at once. But early game, you have to be very, very, very safe with Naja, and basically, until you build crit and like good crit, he's not much.
Yeah. Set's just tricky to play, I think, for new players or casual players.
Can confirm. I played him for the first time yesterday. I had
Yeah.
fun. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, he's intricate, but can be pretty good. But it's just like most of the time when I see a set, I don't see a whole lot of sets anymore. And when I do, they just kind of don't do a whole lot. So
Point in case.
Here's a fun story about Big Baby. We were playing the other day, and Davis is like, "I'm gonna play Big Baby," and my response was, "Why?" And then Davis played Big Baby, and he was like, "Don't let me play Big Baby again." And I'm like, "I got you." Hence, Big Baby's not as bad as other things on this list, but Big Baby is B plus.
Big Baby, by the way, Vamana.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vamana. But obviously, if you know anything about this game,
you know,
there's
he's
only
Big
one
Baby.
Big Baby. And then Ymir.
Ymir's just.
I think he's just a tinge below balance. So I think he's a tinge below this A tier. I think if you caught us on a good day, he might be A.
I would say like Arena, he's good. Anything else?
It's just like his freeze is awesome. His wall is super good in situations, but
I think his ult
there's
is
just
a better version of the Hades ult.
Yes. I'd say his ult hurts more than the Hades ult.
it's burst damage rather than just prolonged tick damage. So
that's the B plus. Now we're at the point where we've got our
A,
average.
Yep. Or
These
balanced.
Are balanced. These are if you're looking for a god that middle of the pack will do basically exactly what is intended of it to do, that's this category right here.
Mm-hmm.
So these probably also we won't have much to talk about because these are what they're supposed to be. Except I'm going to be working for the bottom here because this is the first one that caught my eye. Zhonghui. I wanted to raise Zhonghui a little bit because recently we've been playing Zhonghui. I feel like Zhonghui has been a major pain in the ass. The ticks that his ghosts do, I feel like, become a major inconvenience mid to late game. So, and I think that's very good. I don't know. Wasn't there a new item that was also supposed to help with Zhonghui? I might be completely wrong about that. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Zhonghui, I think is probably balanced, but he might even be a little bit above balance. But I don't know.
He could go up. We could test him out, test the waters a little bit.
But obviously, this might even change. But right now, it's probably a safe place to put him in as balanced. But we could jump back to first Agni.
Agni's like the quintessential balanced character. He does good damage. He's safe with his dash, but he can be caught out, and he doesn't have a jump, so the dash is ruined by like Odin and stuff. And
he has CC.
Yeah, he's got a good range poke, but why would you pick Anubis or I'm sorry, Agni when you could pick a Cuckoo or an Isis
or any of the other mages
or a Vulcan? I'd rather have a Vulcan over an Agni.
Amaterasu.
Corey likes Amaterasu.
Yeah, I like obviously you three know, but anyone watching this or listening to this, I'm very new to this game.
Just hit level 15.
Yeah. Started playing like a week before this new season, so that's why I've been extremely quiet because I don't really know anything about them. I only have a small handful of gods.
I think at the end of this, we'll kind of ask you your thoughts and stuff so far.
Okay.
Once we get out of the tier list. I think she might go up though. Some builds are pretty good on her.
Kwong.
With Kwong, he might go up with the new ring, the Ring of Hecate. The basic attacks will probably, and lifesteal will probably really help him.
Yeah, he won't need to buy a lifesteal item anymore, which is what's the Talon one? Bancroft's Talon. Because he can get lifesteal from something that gives him more attack speed too, which is really good. So I think it'll go up.
They're building magical 8ACs from a lot of these items, is what it looks like, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm down to clown. Artemis
Too risky.
Artemis / Neath, I feel like are the ADC basics, the basic ADCs.
Yeah.
So Neath is also on this list. She's down on the next level, but it's like they're just FU1 average.
Artemis is the more damaging basic ADC. Neath, the more safe ADC.
For learners, I suppose, yeah.
Which explains why I like her so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then her assets.
Lol.
Her personality, Shane.
He's got a really nice personality.
Kabrakan, also Kabrakan, we had him a little bit lower earlier today too, and he made the jump. His ult is nice. His ground pound is nice.
They call him Fat Loki for a reason, because he's like Loki, except fat and better. I would say I'd rather have a Kabrakan than a Loki.
According to this list, that's very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmotots, Cosmotator Tots,
Camazotz.
Nope, Cosmotator Tots. I think he's pretty good.
I think he's gonna go up.
I think he's gonna go up too.
He did just get buffed. His big damage ability is his 2, and it's a really thin line, so it's kind of difficult to hit. But if you hit that thing, it's hard, and he heals a lot, and his jump is farther now. So I think he's gonna go up. Cerberus is big damage. Seems to be more like a solo laner than a support, and that's kind of what history has shown. But I mean, he's just okay right now. Not too great, not too bad. Cernunos is just a balanced hunter. Got a lot of damage, but not a lot going on besides that. Don't build him with crit. He's got one build pretty much. So he's not very flexible there.
Makes it easy for noobs though.
He has a dash instead of a jump like some of the other hunters, which a jump is just always better than a dash. The transmorph or polymorph, whatever, on his ult is really good, but just walk outside of it. You're fine. So I don't know. I think he's bounced.
Changa.
Safe.
Changa.
Yeah, she's a healer.
Yeah, she's safe, but she doesn't do anything besides heal.
Got a fun bunny with voice packs.
Mm-hmm. Chernabog takes a long time to get online, and when he is online, he doesn't do much. He's like Nox. You have to hit the combo. You have to do 2 abilities to get like a stun and to really use his abilities well. And it's just it's kind of clunky. It takes I don't have it on quick cast, but I should be the normal way that I push the buttons. It just seems like it doesn't work sometimes. So I don't know if that's just me or whatever, but he's balanced, but he's not great.
Kukulin? Is that
Kukulin? Yeah.
okay?
Why play Kukulin when you could play Achilles or Osiris or Hercules? He's just okay.
Discordia.
Discordia's good. Safe. She has the invis on her jump, but it's a very small invis because it's a little cloud that's like the size of her, so you know where she is. Her ult's good if you hit it, but it's kind of hard to hit sometimes because it's slow moving. But her route that makes her attack and makes the enemies attack each other is pretty good. But I would rather have looking right above her. I'd rather have a Poseidon.
Along Shen.
Furlong used to be really good. Now he just doesn't do a whole lot.
His taunt's probably his best asset.
The taunt's pretty good and the heal from it, but the heal takes so long to get off. So if you're using it in desperation, you're not going to get healed in time, most likely. And he's just doesn't do enough for the team.
I feel like a lot of these gods. That's not true for all these gods, but it is for a handful of these gods. Don't get much playtime anymore, just because they are just average. They are the barrier line. Fafnir,
Like he's okay, but there's no reason to play him over some of the other ones. Fafnir's really good if you had 2 hunters on your team because you can ult and then use his 2 that makes everybody in a circle do more damage and attack faster.
I don't see people play Fafnir anymore.
No, he's not picked very often.
I still find him immensely more fun to play than, say, some of these other guardians that I can't locate right now, like Ares. I find Fafnir more fun than Ares.
It's really scary to see a dragon leaping at you.
Yeah, he has a long stun.
I love Giannis. Yeah. Giannis is my
what a fall from grace. Giannis is.
I think he's still good. I mean, like he's got such a good like lane clear. Not immediately, but like pretty good. His banish portal is nice. It's like to break up an attack. If you're being attacked and you just want to get someone off of you, you'll just drop them through that. And if you hit them with their 2, you're going to chunk them for, depending on when the game, from like a quarter to maybe 3/4 to maybe all their health, depending on who they are. So it's
he is a one-trick pony though. He has his 2 pretty much,
but it's so good. And his ult, I'm not going to toot my own horn.
Ult so often.
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I can snipe people across the map with his ult. I do miss it a lot because I will randomly just shoot it out into like nothingness and hope that I hit someone, but I do hit people pretty often.
You do, and sometimes you do that randomly and kill someone.
It's also really fun to shotgun yourself into the enemy base and win. It's like hiding in the jungle and then just portal through the walls.
Get that swiper donk.
He's fun.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got very good mobility.
I think he might go up, but I think currently he has like the lowest win average in the game,
which is unfortunate.
It's just because people play him a lot and people lose a lot. So,
like me,
yeah, you lose a lot.
Kali, I don't like Kali.
Kali's
like at all.
Yeah, she can hyper carry real good, but she can also do not a whole lot. She gets behind. Merc, same kind of thing. Hyper carry, but can also be useless.
He might go up with the malice thing with the cooldown just because he can use his 1 more often. But
yeah, if you can fit more crit into Merc's build, he thrives off that.
Neath
is the quintessential balanced hunter. Nox, same problem as Turnball. You have to hit the combo. Her ult's really good, but you can miss it kind of easily. Olaron, I don't have enough. I haven't played him enough to really know. So he's kind of one of the few gods that I just placed and balanced, just based off what I've seen. His ult's really good, but besides that, he doesn't seem to have a lot going for him.
I feel the same way. Like I've barely played him, but from what I've seen, he's just run of the mill mage.
Yeah. Ra, if his ult was easier to hit, would be way higher because he's got heals and instant lane clear. But
can you imagine if his ult didn't lock you in one way you're looking, and like you could move with his ult? That would be insane. Like if you could adjust his ult,
yeah, or Thoth, because
while it fires, just
well, that'd be stupid. But like if you lock in, like I like what you're saying. If you're like Thoth, when you're charging your ult, you turn what you're facing. But Ra, you stand still and shoot. So like if you could, while you're charging, you could re-aim. I think he'd move up a lot.
It does do a fair amount of damage though. Like Ra's like his 1's a good damage, his ult is a good damage, his 2 is good for movement speed, and his 3 is a heal. He's got it's a great kit as far as for starters because it's like you can heal yourself, you could fuck shit up, you could fuck up the minion wave, and you can get out if you need to with his 2.
I think in order to go better, he just need to be able to secure his damage more. Because if you're fighting somebody and if you're right on them, you're gonna hit your 1. But if you're like their max range, you're just gonna sidestep. Well, it slowly travels to so. Raijin does a lot of damage, but I don't know. I think it's prolonged damage with his 1 because it's hits in 3. It's a sequence hit instead of just 1 burst damage. And same thing with his ult. Yeah, it's 4 shots instead of just 1 burst. So it just makes him slow and sets him up for not getting his damage out in the way he needs to. Rama's just meh right now. He's fine.
I've
but
always felt that way about Rama.
He every time he dies or respawns, his one is reset with full arrows.
That
That's
helps.
a new addition.
Raven needs better cooldowns. His line, which roots and heals him a little bit, but it just takes so long on he's now an assassin. It's like a long cooldown on an assassin ability. It's just like makes it useless.
Which surprised me from coming back to Smite and finding out Robin's now an assassin.
Yeah. Scotty.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
Indeed.
Is okay, but I don't know. I'd rather have any hunter that's above her on my team than a Scotty. It's too risky. Sobek's really balanced. Same thing with Wukong. Same thing with Sylvanas. Same thing with Terra. Terra can be scary, but if she's difficult to hit her, she's difficult to confirm some of her CC.
I'm good at the clap. It makes me happy.
Shane has a clap,
and I'm giving it to you.
Yeah,
please. You'll get sued for that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sing. Don't worry.
Thoth has the same problem as Raijin, where his main damaging ability is this one, and it shoots off 3 times, and got really good poke, but it's like it can do 700 damage with the Giannis 2, or 700 damage with the Thoth ult, and miss 2 of your, like have the potential to do 700 damage, but miss 2 of your 3 casts with your 1. So, Tier's balanced. X-Ball is okay. His ult is worse now, since it doesn't stun.
So dumb. It feels completely worthless now.
Yes. All it does is make you blind.
It's good for like objectives. If you're like trying to sneak a Gold Fury or something, because you can just confuse everybody. Or team fights. It's really good for like 5 seconds for team fights, because then nobody knows what's going on. But it doesn't. You don't have to stop moving anymore.
I don't know why they got rid of that. It's not like he was that OP.
Yeah. Jing Chen is pretty good. His ult's super easy to get out of, because you just walk away from him, and then he's just wasting his washing machine ult. Wishy-washy. And we talked about Sunqueen.
Sure did. All right. Now we're slightly. This is like slightly above the average. It's above that curve.
I'm gonna start breaking these off a little bit, or going in chunks rather. So for like, I'm looking at hunters here. AMC, on her, Apollo, Chiron, Cupid, Izanami, and Medusa and Hachiman. I would rather have than any of the hunters below. Just for various Uller too. Just for various reasons. Izanami, I think, is going to go up. I've been seeing her a lot in my games, especially in ranked conquest.
We were playing a conquest match the other day where I think it was me and Shane laying against her and Hera.
Someone. Yes, it was
I
Hera.
think, and they just murdered the lane, and they were pushing us back real hard. So
there was no way we were going to win that lane.
She has awesome lane clear with her basics that go through enemies, and she is hitting hard. And I don't know what changed. I don't think she got a buff, and I don't think there's any of her items that are changed in her build, but she's popping off and doing
Izanami increased return projectile damage from 25% to 35%, and spectral projections reduced cooldown from 16, 15, 14, 13, 12 to 14, 13 and a half, 12, 13, 12 and a half, 12.
No major buffs. The back part of the boomerang basics are better slightly, but
that will give you like 5 extra damage.
Yeah. But she's been going crazy, and I do not like Izanami, but I might have to start playing her more, because she's been doing work, and she might go up. She's probably in a good spot right now, but she may go up depending on how this season plays out.
True.
Apollo's really good because he can go anywhere on the map. Super good for rotations, and he's just a good boxer. Honor's hyper aggressive. Cupid's got the big circle on his ult. Chiron has been doing loads of damage recently, and his ult hits for 1 million damage. So Chiron, I think, is in a good spot here on this list. Hachiman's safe. Medusa is safe. And AMC used to be better, and is kind of working his way down to settle around A+. So there's that. Opwash. In high level play, I would put him lower. But if you're running down lane in Joust with an Outwash, you are king. Especially against anybody that heals.
He blows up.
Also, with the tighter lanes and specifically Joust, he's going to fill up.
Yeah.
He's going to fill up the lanes easy.
Lots of dead bodies.
Especially his ult. His ult will fill up the entire lane.
Yeah. Ares is Ares and burn beads and can blink ult and just change games. Let's see, going through here. Kronos is just really good for a magical ADC right now. Super safe with his ult. Lots of damage. Lots of things that you can do with his 2 and the clock. Super good at tower shred, so I think that's a good spot. Dodgy has been impressing me lately. She does tons and tons of damage. And her ult's really good, like an Ares, but stationary. She's kind of risky for me because like you have to teleport to a god or a minion. You can't just use her movement ability or her teleport ability just wherever. You have to have a target. So like if you're just in the lane getting run down, you're screwed until you run up to something. Don, your camera went fuzzy.
I know, it was really weird. I was trying to fix it.
Let's see what else.
Poseidon's good.
Yeah, Poseidon has a big circle that does a lot of damage, which is really good for casuals.
Poseidon has a big circle. Vulcan has a big circle.
Vulcan
Scylla has a big circle.
Dude, Vulcan
I love
turret.
Scylla.
Vulcan turret is ridiculous. Once you have any amount of points in it, plus meatball.
Nuwa might be able to go. Might honestly be able to be an A rather than A plus.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. But I mean, global ult that hits everybody for 800 damage in late game is ridiculous. So I don't know. She may move down. We'll see.
Plus, if you blow up her tri minions, that's a shit ton of damage.
Yeah,
Oh, it hurts so bad.
Yeah, and stuns.
Serket's really good. She used to be higher, but she's going down a little bit. Her ult's excellent. But Morgan's super safe and has super pressure in lane. You can clear wave at level 1 in like 2 uses of your 2 and just basic attack with the cleave on her or the burst, I suppose, on her basic attacks. Mm-hmm. So she has instant lane pressure and is really good at the early game. And Susanna's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I know we didn't go everyone for A plus, but we can jump right up to S now and just go like everyone above A. They're slightly above A. They're a little bit better than average for various reasons, and I feel like we touched over like the main things. Like everyone else is just slightly better than the level of God below them. So it's like if there's a mage below, like in the tier below, they're a better version for a lot of them. Than you'd rather pick this God than the ones below them.
I would rather have a Vulcan over a Thoth.
Correct.
Or a Zonkwi. So
for S's, obviously this is where it starts to dwindle now. Smite they try to do a good job of keeping them in the middle range, so there's not as many of these at the top or at the bottom, obviously.
Yeah.
But there are a handful of these upper echelon gods.
So S is where you're gonna want to. They're like a priority pick. If you pick them, you're gonna be just fine. And probably win your prospective matchup. Achilles is super strong right now. His kit's really good. He's got the stun on his main damaging ability. He's got heal in his kit. If you proc his 2, his I don't remember combat dodge. I think is his movement that you can get a second charge on it by hitting an ability or hitting an enemy with the first use is kind of nice, but it's like a Guan dash where it's not very long. But it does. I don't know. I think it's okay. But his execute is really good because executes are in boy. And he's super aggressive, so he's constantly having people like under his execution threshold, so he can kind of clean up fights and immediately turn a fight in your team's favor.
Anubis.
So
he just burns.
Yeah, if you're playing casuals and there's an Anubis, you immediately got to be careful of him unless your team is like super coordinated on killing him.
You're gonna need the beads,
yeah,
or Aegis or something. If he had a higher mobility, he would be S plus or
Yeah.
above.
If you're a squishy and he wraps his he lands a wrap on you, you're dead. If he's got his ult up, it's just gonna burn
Maybe
you.
not even if he just locuses you, you might die.
Yeah, he's got so much power. You just build 2 lifesteal items on him, and then you can't die, or you can't get out damaged if in a 1v1 just because you're constantly healing.
Athena.
Athena is hyper aggressive. Got that long CC with her taunt and the damage from the shield slam. Not to mention the fact that she's can be globally aware and be in any fight at any time using her ult.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't tell from Shane's enthusiasm, Shane is our resident support, so he only gets boners for things that have to do with supports.
Athena's just very good. I don't see her getting played a whole lot. I don't know why, because the taunt is incredible, and she, like Shane said, she's a global god.
Oh, because she's not flashy.
Yeah,
there are flashier gods than
Athena.
She's
super old.
Yeah,
people know how to play her against her and stuff. So
if I want to win lane, I would pick Athena personally because she's the one I'm most familiar with and is the one I'm most confident in. I know how to play this god right.
She plays bully ball. Freya.
So Freya used to be so they changed Freya to where her 2 still made her attacks ranged, but it wasn't timed. It just cost mana. And she was kind of not great when they were like that. She was just okay, but she wasn't the hyper carry like she used to be. And then they reverted her back to the hyper carry mode. So once you get like 3 items online and you're like level 10, from there you're just unstoppable and you can kill people in like 4 basic attack hits and you're already attacking really quick and you have crazy lifesteal and stuff because that's in her kit and stuff. So
boom, boom, boom. Geb is Geb.
Geb is super safe for the team. Has a great alt. Big circle.
CC cleansing.
You can just the shield comes in clutch all the time.
Yeah,
just really good support.
And his ult with it feels like a long stun. So
yeah,
Hoi
has a big circle.
Upper echelon ADC for sure.
Yeah, his jump is awesome because you jump up in the air and you don't have to land right away. You can kind of plan out and you can like confuse the guys where you're going to land and then just jump the way they're not expecting and run away. Super safe to get out of like that. Super aggressive.
The new Joust map is really good for him because of the tight corridors to bounce off his ricochet arrow.
If you get a lucky ricochet where you hit on the 3rd bounce, it is insane. Or hit multiple bounces in the corridor, that's good shit.
Hunbats.
Hey, big circle. Big circle that makes people not be able to do anything unless they have beads. And can close the distance with his jump or his teleport from his monkey. His overhand smash is really good for lane clear and doing damage. Very aggressive and very safe.
Moving on, same trend. Big circle with Isis.
Big circle that heals people and does damage. She's top pick right now in mid, and it's for a good reason because she's super aggressive and Spirit Ball hits for 1,000,000 damage
and stuns them to just destroy them. Love it.
Yeah. She's in a really, really, really good spot right now, and I expect her to be nerfed here shortly.
No, please.
Jingwei.
Small circle. Corey's current god he's trying out.
One I would say
she's awesome. Yeah, she's definitely my best character.
She's not a bad god for beginners, and she's actually a very good god also. So it's like a double win there.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of different things you can do with her Gus. Like you can use it to jump up higher, so your dash goes farther. It increases your attack speed for tower taking. She's very easy to learn how to play, and she has a pretty good high skill ceiling. So
pair her with a Wheelix, and you got a wombo combo team there.
Yes, you do.
King Arthur.
That's true. King Arthur will spank any god that he's going up against.
I've seen him played a lot recently.
Yeah,
he's absolutely a daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. So you know what's good on a god? All of your abilities do damage. You know what's really good? If you have 7.5 abilities that do damage, and that's what Arthur has.
Yeah.
So he just wins lane solo. He might go down a little bit because Gladiator Shield won't heal him as much as it did before, but he's still an obnoxious god to play against and no fun to play against at all.
Cuckoo clock.
Big
Cuckoo Khan.
medium-sized circle.
That ticks and is hard to avoid.
Yep, super safe. Does a ton of damage. You can just throw down your your 3, the whirlwind in lane, and walk away, and you'll have full cleared, and you'll be safe.
The ticks are great from it.
Yep.
The
His
ult does a
ults-
bunch of damage, and it bounces people up.
Yep. And so if you get dove by like a Kali, you can just ult, and the ult starts a little bit behind you, so it'll hit you, or like it'll hit your character figure. So if somebody is right on you, they just get obliterated. So it's it's a good way to like kind of be safe, I suppose.
Thanatos, always, or not always, but usually up there. Does
Executions are
so
in.
much damage
Yep.
and gets all his health back.
Lots of damage, lots of healing. No mana problems ever, which is awesome. Because his abilities don't take any mana to use, pretty much. So you don't have to worry about that. If you hit his one, it hits for 50% of somebody's health at minimum. Past like level 4, and he can go up in the sky. And even if he doesn't get execute, he gets a nice big circle stun. Same thing with Thor, except Thor does way more damage right now. His got changed kind of recently, not super recently, but in the last few months. His 3 is different than it used to be. Instead of going for like 3 seconds, it's just 3 spins and then a big damage at the end in front of him.
I don't like that.
Does tons of damage. You need to ban him in Conquest if you're playing ranked, because he stomps in casual or like lower level ranked. And it's like an instant win pretty much for your team. Emoji Movie is ridiculous and has so much CC and so much damage that she doesn't even feel like a guardian.
I'm gonna make a comment about that while researching for this podcast. The one conclusion I have determined is that you need to play her as a close range god, because using all of her abilities close range will destroy someone's health.
Yeah, it's like she's like Hades. Hades used to be a guardian, but never felt like a guardian. She does not feel like a guardian because she just does so much damage, and her ult's so good by generating a corridor that you can't get out of if it's placed right. So
Zeus,
a
lot of damage.
big circle, crazy damage. His only downside is that he's not super safe.
Not very good. He has no
But-
escape.
No escape. He doesn't have a movement ability anymore. Since they changed that like a couple years ago. But if you get dove, you just throw your shield down at you and chain lightning off of it. And
Chain lightning is such a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, you'll probably come out on top, just because of how much damage you do, or alt your feet if you have it up, and it does so much damage. It's absurd. You can build him tanky, and you'll still have top damage at the end of the game.
And finally, S+, which is our highest tier. We don't have any SSs here. So these are
Yes.
the best gods to play, or maybe not necessarily best, but like the most damaging gods, the gods that will fuck up the game, disrupt the game the most. And there are 4 of them as it stands right now. And those 4 are Bacchus, Hebo, Jamunger, and Pele.
Yeah. Bacchus might be like a contentious pick. Like people might see that and go, "Why is Bacchus in S+?" But if there's a joust game and one of them is Bacchus, that team wins.
Yeah.
Just belly flop. You can ult. You can stun with the burp. If they build him even a little bit of damage, he's gonna kill anybody.
If you just play aggressive, he can just disrupt everything.
Yeah.
He just throws a wrench in everything.
Being against an Bacchus in casual joust, normal people level casual joust, pretty much means that team is gonna win. Unless something bad happens or the other team gets crazy far ahead off something random. But if they are playing identical skill wise or whatever, that Bacchus team is gonna.
Hebo is probably the most bursty mage in the game.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's why he's up here.
He does so much damage. People say he has 3 ults for a reason, because it feels like he has 3 ults.
You could take someone with full health, you boop them, you clap them, and you ult them. They're dead almost always.
You could probably just boop them and then ult them, and then they're dead or have like 2 health left.
So, and he's got good movement, but he is also very squishy. So it's like you can destroy him pretty easily, but it's just like if you have the chance to before he destroys you.
Yeah. Again, he could be totally ass if you are if you were partied up with some friends and you are communicating and you know what to do. But in casual, you're just queuing by yourself or with one other guy, and it's not a competitive, focused thing.
His potential outweighs
Yeah.
his downsides.
Jormungandr is ridiculous. Big lizard boy.
Big lizard. Instead of having a big circle, he's just big.
He has
And he does have
a cone basic, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is so safe and does so much damage, and
takes
just
so little damage.
And takes little damage, and has a get out of jail free card with his ult. I think that he's one of the best gods in the game right now, and pretty sure his stats show that. And then we get to the most annoying god in the game right now, right, Corey?
Fuck Pele.
Pele is so ridiculously strong, and she's been nerfed since she came out when she was even stronger.
She was stronger?
Oh yeah.
She was. I know she was stronger because I was able to get my one and only penta with her, and I'm not.
I
that
still
good.
don't believe. I'm still not convinced you ever got it.
She. I think right now in the game is the one god that if she runs at you, you are going to die. As soon as you see her and she's past level 10, you're going to die if she's just running. Her ult is ridiculous. She does a lot of damage with her line attack, and she can use 2 of it. Her stun or her 2 is a big circle knock up around her that just knocks you up and lets her just wail on you.
Yeah.
And she runs really fast with her 3. So she's ridiculously strong, and needs adjustment because she's wacky.
Cool. So that's where we stand for our tier list. If you agree with us or disagree with us, let us know in the comments. Actually, we would actually enjoy it to hear, and tell us why you disagree with us and where you think these should change. Obviously, these are not these are not pro rankings. These are casual rankings. So if you're a casual player, which is probably most of you people, this is probably what you're gonna maybe agree with or disagree with. But if you do disagree, let us know.
Also, if you'd like to see like more Smite stuff, like how to build a certain god, or just how to build like mages in general, let us know.
Sure, we could do that too. We're gonna start evolving and doing more Smite stuff here because we feel like we see maybe a niche that we could slide into, and people will enjoy, because we collectively can pick up Smite. We've played Smite between the 4 of us for a very long time.
Yeah, most people who make Smite content are like pros or people who are very high up in the community or like are semi-pro, I suppose. And that's fine, but that's like pros making content are making content as pros. They're not making content as people who are just enjoying the game.
And we're just
it doesn't necessarily apply.
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily apply always.
Yeah, so for the majority of the people who are playing this game as just mostly casual or like some ranked mostly casual stuff, that don't care about like having the best build or the best KD or whatever, and freak out if they die when somebody should have helped them or something. There's not a whole lot of that going on in the content community for Smite, so that's that. So Corey, you said before that you just started playing Smite a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You had played it a long time ago. You played one game and then
I don't remember.
Yeah. You basically did
it was
as far as
years
he's
ago.
concerned.
Yeah, so we got you to play it a few weeks ago. And so you've been playing with us for a few weeks. We just got you to level 15 so you can start doing some of the other modes, which is ridiculous that you need to be level 15 to play Assault.
Crazy.
Or Clash. I don't understand the thought process behind that, because that's like 20 hours to play half the modes. But and they let you play Conquest right away, which doesn't make any sense at all. The fact that you can play Conquest before you can play Assault doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so I kind of I've been playing this game since all 3 of us have kind of been playing this game on and off since 2014. I've been playing it consistently, but Don and Shane have kind of taken breaks. So I'm
Don took a longer break.
Yeah, but we've been playing for a long time, so it's interesting to kind of get a new player's experience. So I guess what are your thoughts on the game so far?
I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. I wasn't too sure because I mean we've all heard Don's rants about it, but but no, I'm actually enjoying it. The first couple games were god awful, but that was just because I was brand new playing against people who have played it constantly, and so it's gonna suck at that point. But no, I forgot who I played as first. I don't remember her name. One of the sword like melee people, but and I sucked at that. And then you guys told me to try. No, that was the first one I unlocked. It may, yeah, it was. But yeah, and I sucked at that. And then Davis, I think it was you. You suggested trying Neith, and then I fucking loved Neith. She was awesome. Definitely great for starting out. But
sure. Yeah, I think you're doing like just from the few weeks you've been playing, you've definitely improved. And you'll definitely keep getting better as you get more just knowledge of the game, because there's still gods that you haven't even seen yet. So it's just like, what's this guy do? Oh, he blows me up. Okay, well now I know to not run at him next time or something.
Rippy.
Yeah, there was quite a few experiences like that.
Yeah. There is the metagame within this game, so it's like there is Smite the game, and then there is the game within the game, which that takes a longer time to learn. Yeah. But like we said, we're going to start doing hopefully more content that involves Smite. This episode ran a little long, but we had a lot to talk about, a lot to cover with the new patch. There is a lot of stuff that happened in it, so it's good to get this out of the way. So if, like I said, there'll be a lot of information and stuff we talk about in the description. And if you have anything you want to say it in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to those comments if I can. But so we'll end this week's episode with this week in gaming history, and this is something I didn't have to go back very far for. For this episode release on February 4th, which is when this episode is coming out, it will be the 1-year anniversary of Apex Legend.
Oh,
I had no idea until I looked this up. It came out 1 year ago on February 4th. So it feels like it was way longer, but we were only at the 1-year anniversary. So happy birthday, Apex Legends.
Happy birthday.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Hit the bell, subscribe.